Hi everybody. This is Sona, and I'm still processing the events of the George Floyd protest. It was brought basically in my backyard. They locked us down. Actually, some stores are not open. I actually just drove to my local pharmacy here at Walgreens, and they're shut down. They're closed. They're closing at 5 o'clock. And I said, well, I need to get some medication. And way it looks, I might just go and have it shipped. But I took a chance to come out here to see if I can pick it up. And, you know, it's really funny. This is to be expected. This was coming to a head for a very long time. And I can only tell you about my feelings and my experiences. You know, for those who do not know, I was born and raised in the South. And I have to say, compared to living in the South, I mean deep in the backwoods of Savannah, Georgia, to living in California, the racism in California is way worse. When I first moved here, I was discriminated against because they felt that I didn't have the California experience in property management. And I had the fucking experience. I had the education. I had the background. But I already knew deep down that they did not want to hire me because of the color of my skin. I've even had recruiters to tell me I needed to tone it down and be more docile. Or I was told that I had to wear my hair a certain way. I couldn't wear my curls. They wanted my hair straight. I could not wear these braids. They just passed a law that you can wear your ethnic hairstyle. Maybe what? It's been maybe a little over a year now. I've been fighting my battle for racism for a long time. I have been discriminated for housing. When I was homeless, I was at the mercy. Me and my son was at the mercy of white people. Treating us like shit. Like we were scum of the earth. Am I triggered? Am I emotional? Hell yeah, I'm fucking triggered. The looting. Don't let the press have it twisting. There's white folks out there looting. Everybody's out there looting. It's just not black people. So don't get it twisted. I want to address racism as a whole. Because, yeah, white people, the white society has implemented systematic racism for years. But when I lived in Dallas, Texas, and I stepped into a Mexican restaurant, they would not serve us. Yeah, I've called out the Mexicans too. And I've actually faced racism here with Mexicans here in California. Now I'm not saying all, and don't get my words twisted. Do not twist my words. I'm not saying all, because I had me a group of Mexican friends that I hung out and I partied with. But it turns out when things got serious and things got, you know, mattered in my life, and I was going through a hard patch, they wasn't there for me. And knowing me, I cut them off. But even if you were African American person that you befriended me and you wasn't there for me, I cut you off. So You know, we have to say we all play a part in the racism. I'm about to get on my people, my black folks. My black folks. We have colorism within our own race. Some of you all think light-skinned women has it better than dark-skinned women. I experienced that in my own family. My own sister thought I had it easy because I was pretty and light-skinned. We don't even talk to this day because she has that issue with me. My thing is, I've not haven't had it easy. I have not had it easy, especially in almost the 10 years I've lived in California. I'm battling my own racism battle now. It's been a year, workers' comp. I'm fighting my racist gay white employer. Yeah, I said it. He's accused me of trying to get over and not being injured. And I've suffered with chronic pain for over a year. He's got people following me. Instead of him doing the right thing and making sure I'm taken care of as an employee, they harassed me constantly. They've caused trauma. I've been passed over for positions. Thus the main reason why I said fuck it. Now I took the job to kind of make things easy from when I lost my mom. But the fact that they kept passing me over because I had more fucking education than all those motherfuckers wrapped together in that office. But they passed me over anyway because I refused to cave in to what they expected of me. And I'm fighting till this day. It took 8 months to have surgery on my hand. And they're still denying treatment. It took almost 12 months to start getting treatment on my back. I'm having an MRI a year later on my knee. There's racial disparities, the healthcare, workers' comp, all that. And this system needs to fucking change. And it needs to change ASAP. I'm a single mother of a black man. He just turned 21 years old. Since the shit went down, he didn't want to leave that house. He is a light-skinned black man, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. He's a black man. And I was so upset and I was so triggered and I was in tears because I fear for my son. Yes, I live in a safe neighborhood. I live in an affluent neighborhood, but he's still a black man. He's still a black man. You know, when I got my car was brand new. I was pulled over by Van Nuys police. They claim I was about to call an auto accident and the other person almost hit me. They pulled me over in the middle of fucking traffic. I hit the curb and fucked up the wheel on my car. They saw my Georgia driver's license and asked me 3 fucking times, why haven't I gotten a California license? I had to repeat 3 times. I spent half my time here in California and half my time in Georgia. Georgia's my home state. I had to repeat that to the officers 3 times. And I told him, do I have to repeat the shit again? Could you please write my ticket and send me on my way? I am being late for work. I've always had to advocate for myself as an African biracial woman here in the state of California. When my son got hit by a car, it took LAPD a while to get to him. If it was a white person, they'd probably be there within 3 minutes. When my roommate in Tarzana, a white woman, refused she was going to pay rent, and the owners, which the house was in foreclosure, came and harassed me, not her. And I'm the one that paid them my portion of the rent. I had to call the police. The police had to hold me back because I was ready to fight. I was ready to kick somebody's ass. I paid my rent. The woman you need to go out after was my white roommate. Come to find out, my white roommate set me up. She told them I didn't pay. So, I have every right to be upset. I have every right to feel the way I feel. I have every right to be triggered. But am I going to go out and loot? And I'm going to go out and steal? Am I going to go out and do things? I would have protested if I was able to, if I was able-bodied, but I'm not. I walk with the assistance of a cane. Now, how I protest is email, phone, the power of my pen. That's my protest. And I tell you, I've been doing a daily protest for years. I tell you, if you are a person of color, own your own shit. Because once you take a job and you die, get injured, they replace you with somebody else. And you know, it's a funny thing, on LinkedIn, the person, obviously, that replaced me, reached out to me on LinkedIn. Did I respond? Hell no. I didn't fucking respond. That shit was a setup. But this shit needs to stop. This shit needs to stop now. All my people of color, we need to band together and stop looking at the differences between each other. Especially my black people. My black people, please. Yeah, my skin may be lighter than yours, but all our fucking blood bleeds red. And you know, I have nothing against white people. I have some good friends that are white people. I have had some people had my back that were white people. As far as the police out here, especially Irvine, I have to say, I had never experienced the service that I have from my police department. I got rear-ended by this elderly white man. He took off and ran. Damaged my back bumper. My son managed to run and get his tag number. We called Irvine police. They came out. They looked at the damage. He measured the damage. He took photos. He went to that man's house, got his insurance company information. Emailed me with information, said, Miss Butterfield, go file a claim against his insurance for damaging your car. I have never experienced service like that before in California. Now, when I was in Georgia, and my friends and colleagues who I've worked with in Georgia, I had policemen on my team, because in Georgia you get a courtesy officer on your properties when you manage property, do property management. And so in Atlanta, I felt protected. I feel protected now. I mean, I even had an experience with fraud, and a police officer came to my door, and he took my report, and he was very cordial, and he was very nice. But this shit right here with George Floyd, where these motherfuckers are putting fucking knees on people's necks and throwing them across the street, it's ridiculous. And you know what? They had a protest in Huntington Beach, which is not far from me. I'm glad they protested there. They needed to know, because I told you, Huntington Beach, California is one of the racist cities there is. Racist. I posted some posts about that. This guy called a group of black men niggers, who they stopped that car and knocked the fuck out of that man. And I don't much blame them. I don't condone violence, but if you start something, you finish that shit. They start something, finish it. I've always told myself, don't start none, it won't be none. They start it, you finish it. And it's so funny that my DIS report, my DIS assessment says I'm the finisher. I'm going to finish what I start. But this shit needs to stop. It doesn't matter where you live as a black person. You're still black. Walking on Rodeo Drive, going into the boutiques, being followed around, looking at you like you can't afford to buy it. It's so funny. I had a designer bag, a designer bag, and I'm at a board meeting, and this lady has the same designer bag. I pointed it out to my boss. I was like, look, she has the same bag as I do, different color. And I know they probably wondered, how could she afford all this stuff? How they do this stuff? And my son is so sweet. He wants his mom to have the best. A couple weeks later, I show up with a Prada bag. I was even discriminated as in my own branch in real estate. Told me I got to work twice as hard to sell a house. This systematic racism has to stop. You talking about the free world? It's free for some. It's free-ish for us black people. It's free-ish. Our rights are not the same as white people. It's not. And I tell you, when I was a child, I did not fit in, because black kids wouldn't play with me, and white kids wouldn't play with me. I wasn't white enough, and I wasn't dark enough. What does that tell you? Or what are you? I was called a chink. Chinese. So, if you're in my brain, seeing all the shit that's going on, hell yeah, I have every right to be triggered. Every right to be triggered. So, things have to change. They have to change quick. Everyone should have the same rights as every other race. Every race should have the same. Everybody should be treated equally. And I haven't even mentioned my Asian brothers and sisters. You all got to start the racism too. Don't be having these beauty supply places, and black folks support you, but you won't go in and step into a black business to support them. And you know what? It's so fun. If you go to my website, and I tell you, every time I've been in business, I've had to have a white face on my website and not disclose that I'm a black business. What kind of shit is that? Why don't you trust the referrals and the quality and see for yourself? White people, you should start supporting black business. What's the problem? Black people have some buying power, and we will see on Blackout Day 2020 how much power we got. You know, it's so funny that they love black culture, they love it, but then they're gonna be racist towards the people. What kind of sense does that make? You know, I'm gonna close this here because I am a leader for change. I believe in change. I believe in giving people the benefit of the doubt. You know, I believe in being positive. That's what I really stand for. But you know what? I have every right to feel the way I feel. I have every right to be triggered. And you know, this triggering is telling me I need to deal with these emotions. I need to deal with every emotion that I've ever experienced that's triggering me right now, and that's what I'm doing. But I wanted to get on here and speak to you guys and tell you where my head is and what I'm feeling. So I'm gonna leave you with that. You know, be the change. Don't complain about it. Do something about it. You know, really do something about it, because it's time for the change to happen. So, this is Sona signing out, and I'll see you soon. Bye.